Hello, this is Dr. Kevin Kirk, and let's add a few things to our Valentine's Day heart. For one, let's make it colorful. So, with this selected, because that's the way you do it, go into the materials. So click on the materials. This nice thing opens, or you can hit M on the keyboard, whatever you want. Many ways to do this. Just going to give it a basic standard material for now. Drop that on, double click it so it opens up. So I drag this over, double clicked it. Set the diffuse, which is the base color, to something pink or red or whatever Valentine's-y kind of thing you feel like. There we go. Okay. So it's Valentine's Day heart now. F9 will render it automatically, but we didn't apply it yet. Oops. Okay, right click and assign material to the selection. Once again, right click, assign material to selection, and then it's on there and we have the nice pink heart. Okay, so that's good. Now our heart looks pretty awful because it just is all sharp. Did you notice that? It's got this kind of sharp things on it. That's not good. The mesh smooth, we can bring up the iterations, and let's talk about that for a minute. The number of iterations, if we bring that up, it gets instantly smoother, but every time you do it, it multiplies the number of polygons by 4 for rendering. So I'm going to bring it up 2 iterations. It'll be nice and smooth and beautiful now, but it also like totally multiplied the number by 4 and 4 again, so it's 16 times the number of polygons. If your machine starts to get slow, don't do it. It'll be bad. Our heart looks funny. It's kind of plumped down at the base. I'm just going in and kind of doing random fixes to this thing. Then take off the mesh smooth now. I'm actually going to really just rip it apart. I'm going to delete it. Feel free to delete the mesh smooth whatever you want to. If you collapse it, then you've got the polygons already in and you can't take them back again. Now what's wrong with this heart? It looks a little strange, and yeah, it looks a little strange because it's all squished. It seems like it's kind of squished toward the top and fat on the bottom. I just don't want that. Many tools I can use. In this case, I can use a taper comes to mind, or a freeform deformer comes to mind. I'm going to use a freeform deformer. It's a nice little tool called FFD. It's just called a freeform deformer, and I don't want to do 2x2x2. Maybe I do. Nah, I don't. Oh, let's see. Control points are nice because you can just grab those and move those any way you want to. I don't think this one's going to do it for me, but we'll find out. Alright, so I'll grab some control points. I'm going to grab the top. Remember, I don't have symmetry on now, which is kind of flying dangerous, but that's okay. I'm going to grab this stretch. I have these control points at the top. I'm going to pull these apart. Literally stretch those apart. So the top's a little wider out now. I'll do the same thing at the base, except in the opposite. I'll grab them all and squish them in. So what I have now, well, it's saved. It looks pretty good now, I think. Remember the smooth zoom of the control and the alt. Rotate it around. Looks a lot better. I like it. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll do that for now. That's fine. So if you like it, great, and you can just go ahead and delete it or collapse it. I'll just collapse it to save it here like that. Boom. So now that heart is permanently that way. Looks way better than it did, I think. This is going to be jagged, but it gives me an idea. All right. Let's drop that mesh smooth back on there. So you can always drop these on, drop those off. I'll crank that up 2 more iterations to 3. Once again, if it starts to just kind of lag on you, then back off. Literally back off the iterations. You'll be okay. Alright, let's render this and see what we got. Looks very smooth. Zoom in a bit. Better idea. And yeah, it's looking really nice and smooth and like a total Valentine's Day heart. So that's exactly what we want. So we'll move on here, and yeah, this guy's fine for now. Looks cute. Actually looks very cute. Angles, everything. Okay. Let's do something more here. I have this guy, and yay, I've got a heart on a nice black background, which is cool. Let's make this a little more interesting. I'm not going to mess with the heart right now. I want something to catch our attention, whoever it's going out to. So let's add some text. So I'm going to create, yeah, it's actually creating something, and we can grab text. So let's find it, and the text is going to be, where is it? Create, and it's going to be, where is it? Oh, okay, that's right. It's on the shapes, and it's text right there. There it is. I haven't used text for a while. So just click, and basically there's your text. Scroll out a bit. I don't know if you can see the Valentine's there, but it's huge, and there's text, and it's got the base size. which is kind of funny because you can adjust it here or wherever you want to. So it's max text, which is really, really boring. And we'll change what it says in this spot right here, which is whatever. Valentine. That's cool. We'll just call it Valentine for now. You have your choice of font. This is tricky. Be careful. If you have something really, really fancy, that's great. There are different things that you can do with text. And let's just, okay. I'm gonna right click, drop that. There we are. Let's go and do a little trick to render from this window. All right. Nothing so far. Because right now, as you can see from the side, our text is just a flat spline. If you've ever made a glass or something like that and used lines, that's what it is. It's just the shape of it. That's all it is. So we can't tell anything else on that. We don't want it to just be a spline. Lots of things we can do. We can shape it in a variety of ways. We can actually just go in there and do all kinds of fun stuff. I think I'll show you a few things. Alright, we'll right click this guy and we will convert to an editable poly, believe it or not, boom. And suddenly it is a polygon. But there you go. That's one way to do it. And it says Valentine, and isn't that awesome? It's great. It works. And if you want to, since it's selected, we can drop on the texture, this or something different. I'll just drop the same thing on now. We'll do that, assign material selection. And suddenly everything is, yay, it's Valentine's. Okay, move this guy up, of course. That's the basic text. Let's change back, jump into here, zoom over, and so you can see it. There we are. Render it. Okay, it says Valentine. That's awesome. All right. It's all good. We got this nice thing. It says Valentine's. Basic text, basic heart. It's a little chunky there. You really need to take that in. But yeah, that's your basic Valentine's heart and text at the moment. So in going through this, I just noticed it's a little bit weird here, a little bit pushed out there. Feel free to jump back and forth on whatever you're working on, and I'll grab some of the vertices here. Show the final shape. Remember that cool trick there if you want to. All right. So I'll grab some of the vertices here, and it looks a little, like I said, chunky here earlier, a little strange. I'll grab some of these. I almost made a huge mistake. Did you guys catch it? Okay. Well, not that mesh smooth part. But the symmetry, I almost messed up my symmetry. You want to have the symmetry going whenever you're going to change one side, or else it won't match up. And in a heart, believe me, that just looks strange. Make sure it's on the right axis. Yay. Okay. So grab the parts. And then change it. Right here is what's causing it to look a little strange. So I'll bring this down a bit like so, and that should help. And I think I'm going to bring this down a little bit like so, and that should help. And now I've got a smoother polygon flow right through there, and I even want to bring this point in a little bit like that, I think, and much better. Maybe this guy needs to come in a little too. Just, yeah, I think I'm better a bit. Yeah. Okay, so play with it. That's what this needs. This needs to go up a bit. Also, maybe this, if you're dealing with the center points, just deal with it up and down. See what it looks like. Always render. That looks a lot better, and when I mesh smooth this guy, he's going to look even better again. So collapse the symmetry again, make sure it's what you want. Right, the before and afters. Oh, under here, the before and afters. So that changes to match up. Good. So go back in, and the collapse all will make it permanent, which is good. You notice I didn't increase my geometry here at all. I still have the same number of polygons. So I'll drop that. Mesh smooth on now, and it should be all nice and good, and I won't be so crazy about it now like I was. So we'll render it, and much smoother, much better. Don't forget to bring up the iterations on the mesh smooth. You can see it there. Bring it back. 0 means nothing, and 1, 2, 3, smoother and smoother. That's really nice. I'm happy with that. That's good. Okay, so got the heart fixed. Let's go back to our text. Wherever it was, there it is. Okay. You know what? I don't think you can see that at all, so I'm going to change my default. Okay, default object color to something you can see more. Alright, it's Valentine's Day. We'll do something like that. How's that? So you can see it when it's not. Yeah, let's make it really visible. So you can see it when it's not selected. I had it set to a nice gray, which worked for me a bit for the video. I'll have it like that. So now you can see it even when it's not selected. So it should make more sense now. Okay, good. Now back on here, we made this into an editable polygon, basically, which is what we did. And it was a spline. So we have this. And some things you can do since it is. And the most obvious trick is, since this is an editable polygon, I can select this whole thing. And I can extrude it back. And if you extrude it, suddenly you've got that really cool, oh, hey, it's 3D. So let's do that. Keep in mind you can grab the edge here and pull it out, which just works well. Extrude it for higher control. Use the dialog box. That way it pops up like this. And you can move it over here and extrude the whole thing out at once. Come on, come on, come on. Why isn't it moving much? Why doesn't that look right? My group, pulling it out. That didn't look right to me. Sometimes the scale is wrong. Let's see if we can just click and drag it. Alright. There we go. Alright. Ooh. I want that whole thing. Alright, that's why I wasn't selected on that. Gotta select all the polygons first. Hit it, and then you can adjust it. Alright, good. So we're gonna bring it out. You can bring it backwards too. Kind of an inside out trick. Let's bring that a little, and now suddenly I've got that 3D, literally 3D look. From the front, it won't look like anything that way. See? But let's go in here and do that trick from the side where we actually render it this way, and just the rendering. Render. Boom. And now you can tell it's got that 3D kind of look. So now I've got a 3D Happy Valentine's heart thingy. Alright, so there's Valentine, there's the heart. And that's a good start for that part. It works. Last render for that one. And that's centered out. Good. That's a nice set on that. I like it.